basically from Lake Okanagan. I'm right next to the road overlooking this beautiful Lake Okanagan in British Columbia. I've come a complete mobile setup, which is quite exciting. And I've tried to choose a great point where we have a beautiful view and we see the magnificent moon. I can actually, even in my car, switch between cameras. So that's the local condition as you can see it right now. Hi, I can also see your comments coming in. I'm just going to check all the channels. So welcome everyone. So my name's Christian Sasser. I'm Sasser Photo. I mainly actually do wildlife broadcasts, but I'm also an astronomer. And today we're going to concentrate all on the moon. It's my second live one, and also want to welcome everyone on yeah, on Astronomy Without Borders, Astronomers Without Borders. I nearly said it wrong. I'm just going to show you what I look like in the car. It's quite something. So we've got clear skies. It took me a long time to find a good location, and you can see I'm going to zoom in a lot on the moon. So I've got everything I do here is completely manual, by the way. So and sometimes my internet connection can jump in and out a little bit. So just bear with me if that happens. Hopefully that stabilizes again. If that happens, just bear with me because I'm really out in the middle of nowhere in my car. I found a spot that just has a beautiful view and everything. I'm just going to try and see if I can switch the camera here. 1 second. No, that's not the way to do it. I have no idea now where to switch it. 1 second. Let me just see this quickly. I know there's a possibility somewhere if I can find it. But let me just check and see if everyone's online here. Let's see. So you can see, of course, because I don't have a system here that follows or basically compensates for the rotation of the Earth, I have to do everything manual. It's quite something. So it's exciting. But I'm just going to switch to the other camera, and then I'll try and show you a little bit of my setup whilst I do a correction here. So it's quite a difficult lunar eclipse, by the way. It is because the moon in summer is very low, and I'm based here in Lake Okanagan near Kelowna on the east side of the lake, looking westwards because the lunar eclipse will take place in the southwest at quite low altitudes because it's summer and the moon is a lot lower in summer than it is in winter. So it's exactly the opposite of the sun. So 1 second, I'm just going to do a quick adjustment here of the moon because it's running out of the screen, and then also zoom in a bit so you can enjoy that. I'm just going to get out of my car, and I got wires everywhere here, so let me just try and get everything right. 1 second. Okay, we still have a bit of time, but you can see what you can do from your car in the middle of nowhere. It's quite something. So I actually have a Nikon 800mm lens here with a 1.2 extender, so I'm running at 1000mm, and you can see the moon rushing by, which is actually the rotation of the Earth. And because the moon is so bright, the contrast is not great. I'll lighten it up just now. It's very easy for me to do. And I'll just jump over to the other camera. I've got two cameras there. That's my wide field. So you can see we have a little bit of clouds, but we were quite lucky. Now I'm just going to jump in and have a look and see what all the channels are doing. I'm just going to jump into Facebook. 1 second. and see if everything's actually working. It's amazing to do all this by car, from the car. Yes, it is working. Hi, Nancy. Very nice to see you, and welcome. And I hope many more will join. I know it's a crazy time to have a to have a lunar eclipse, but I certainly didn't choose the time. It's just the way things are. So it's quite amazing. But I'm very happy it's working. Let me just see if YouTube is actually working. We jump over to that. Yes, the YouTube channel is also working. That is wonderful. Let me just put that on silent so we have no feedback. And that's also working. That's fantastic. Anyway, enjoy this. So far everything's working fine. I'll show you a little bit about my setup. And also we have a little bit of time because the partial eclipse here phase starts only at 2:44 a.m., right? So the local time now is, so we got still some time. Batteries are fully charged, so everything should work here. But the totality on the Pacific coast here, Vancouver time, will only start around 4:11, right? And that's going to be incredibly difficult to catch simply because the altitude is so low. So I try to get a very high point. So I don't know how much we're going to catch of that. At the moment, we have got a little bit of clouds, but still it's quite, it's quite remarkable that it's actually everything is working. So there we go. So I'm going to jump over to the other camera again. Let me just do that quickly. Oh, and the moon is already out there. So let me just put the moon right back. So give me a second. I'll put that right back. Okay. Okay, there we are. That's quite nice. That's really beautiful. So there's the moon again. And I am correcting that manually. It's quite something. But I can tell you, we've got a beautiful view here. I can hear I heard some raptor. It sounded like a hawk. I think I even heard a coyote out here because it's quite, yeah, it's fairly spooky. But I'm lucky I got a good cell phone reception actually to be able to transmit this live. So I think it's rather unique. It really is unique. I'll have a quick look here on Facebook and just welcome everyone. Hi, Deborah. It's quite something, isn't it? And hi, Virginia and Orlando, Florida. That's nice. So on the East Coast, you won't be able to see this. So I'm glad you can enjoy that. So your local time, let me see, should be, yeah, it's about, oh, you're early, right? It's about 5 past 5 or so. Hi, John, watching from Central. Oh, from Central NC. That's so. What is it? North Carolina, right? That is great. Can I see it from South Carolina? No, Kathy. You can't see it on the East Coast, unfortunately, but that's why you're watching me now. Watching from, yeah, from Central North Carolina. Okay, but the East Coast cannot see it. You can see it, I think, as far as probably Chicago, if I remember correctly. I think Winnipeg in Canada can just make it out. Edmonton and Calgary can. Vancouver can. The more west you go, of course. And in California, a friend of mine is at the Griffith Observatory, also running this live at the moment. So it's quite incredible. And as you can see, the moon does. It's as soon as the clouds come in. I'll just switch over the camera. I have to adjust it again. You see, there we are. We got clouds coming in, but it's not bad. It actually looks much more interesting as we wait until the partial eclipse comes in. So it's beautiful. It's all beautiful. Now the location says here BC, Canada. That's really broad, but in reality, I'm here in near Kelowna. So if you look up Okanagan Lake, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm standing here on the edge of the lake. I wish my one video camera were more sensitive and I would try and show you a bit more. I think if the clouds go away, there may be enough reflection on the lake so that you can actually make out how beautiful the view here is. It's absolutely magnificent. I'm just going to adjust the camera again. So I'm just going to do that. Let me switch back again. There you go. You can see how quickly this is happening. I have to adjust the ISO again so you can see it properly. So just hang on. Okay, there you go. So I can see right through the clouds at the moment. That's quite something. I mean, at the moment that is really not focused because of the clouds, but with a bit of luck, they'll disappear very quickly again. I'll show you what it's looking like in reality, right? So there you can see that dark cloud coming in, giving the main camera a bit of tough time. So it'll compensate. It'll go again. It will. Hi, I'm going to look a bit more. Hi, Cheryl. Sherry, thank you from Montreal. Oh, that's Riley from Quebec. That is wonderful. Thank you for the stars, by the way, which I will use to cover the cell phone costs. Catherine, all the way from the east coast of Australia, Brisbane. That is wonderful. Clear night. Well, that's great. That is wonderful. So congratulations of taking part now. That is wonderful. I know you still have quite an early evening at the moment. Flo is watching from central Vermont. That is wonderful. And Sherry from upper Michigan is partly cloudy. Yeah, it's not that bad here. 6 hours ago, we had a rainstorm here, and I thought I'd never be able to broadcast. And I would call this a fair miracle that it has become, quite clear. I really didn't expect that. So it's really beautiful. And do put in your comments also on YouTube. I will be watching. So that is great. And thank you for everyone who's contributing some a bit of funds. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I'll just go on HAPS again. That is so kind of you because that'll cover my cell phone costs. So I'll cover all the other costs, and that'll cover my cell phone costs, which is absolutely wonderful. I'm just going to jump again. I really appreciate it. Oops, there. That's a bit out of focus there. Let me just get that back in. Just let me jump in because the moon's become all bright again. So just hang on. Isn't it cool? Yes. Top commentator. It just says top commentator is Al Shabis. That's correct. Shabazz. Sorry, it's Al Shabazz. Thank you very much. And we got clear skies, fairly clear skies. I just gonna refocus my camera. Just hang on. Yep. Yeah, that looks better. Do the other camera. So there I'm jumping back into my studio here in the car. So that's good. That's good. So I hope you can still hear me loud and clear. It's um, it's quite something that is actually works. I can't believe it. I'm really giving high quality live stream here, um, overlooking Lake Okanagan, and there's not a soul around. That's quite something, isn't it? It's very exciting. I'm just going to switch over to the other camera so you can have a look. You can see the clouds have disappeared at the moment. I'm going to just try and give you a little bit of, yeah, I should try and brighten this up maybe with my, well, I don't have a torch here. Let me just check. Because then I could show you what my whole setup looks like. You know, it's been such an ad hoc thing because it was so difficult to find a location where I would be able to see as much of the moon in the southwest as possible, because at the moment the moon is quite in the south, but it's going to move to the southwest and get really low as it approaches the total eclipse, and it's very difficult to find a location where you have such a clear view. And I managed that in the last moment. so, so I'll just jump over again. There you go. Okay, that looks all fine. Cherie said we had a horrible storm last night too. I bet you did, right? Hello from Germany. Hello, Daniel. Wie geht es? Very nice to see you. You certainly can't see this total eclipse, so it's very nice that you could join. I certainly am going to stay up at least for another 1.5 to 2 hours because I will follow the moon as long as I can. And at the moment, it's really showing bright, and the clouds are not too bad. The clouds are not too bad, and I got this incredible view here on the Okanagan Lake, which is absolutely marvelous. I know a lot of you won't be watching because it's simply such an awkward time. But in Europe, of course, when we go to Germany, it's 9:17 a.m., right? So no, it's 11:17 a.m. I'm sorry, it's 11:17 a.m. So it's really beautiful. Yeah. I'll talk a little bit about the moon in a moment. I just have to do a lot of manual work here because I always have to run out and adjust my actually adjust the camera. So hang on. Okay. Okay, we're back. Let's see. We got a little bit out of focus again because, yeah, well, it's because clouds are coming in. 1 second. I'm just going to jump over so you can you see on the right-hand side, you can see the setup. You see my car parked next to the road there. very quiet road, and it's quite a low. It's a country road actually that just goes into a residential area. So I just get some. Yeah, it was out of focus. I know, it was out of focus. I am going to do that. But you can see on the right hand side, you can just make out the back of my huge lens. It's running at 1,000 millimeters almost. So that's the setup, and I'm sitting inside the car at the moment doing the broadcast. If I can figure out, I'll put it back into focus. It's not a big issue. Um, but how do I change it? One second. Hi, Mark. Very nice to see you. That's working very nice. Let's see. I'll just put it back into focus. I'm going to switch over to the other camera again, and I'll put this back into focus. One second. Okay, that's better. That's better. So, as you can see, it's nice and focused now. It's beautiful. I'm back in the car, so I think you got a brief idea. So that's fine. So there you go. Well, I'm doing this completely to share the beauty of nature to the world. This is why I'm doing it, because it's really very special. That's really why I'm doing this. Okay, there's no, it's for purely educational reasons, and also I'm streaming on Astronomers Without Borders that are doing a great job everywhere. I also want to welcome my wonderful friend Mark Horner here, who has helped me actually find this place. We were frantically trying to find a place where it is possible to look very low in the southwest, and we finally found one about 1 hour before my broadcast. So he was helping me all the way from Washington State, following me on the map and figuring out where to go. And we did find it finally. So I set everything up. We had good Wi-Fi signal and so on. So here we are. So that's great. Hello from Lynchburg City. That is very nice. Very nice to have you here. That is great. Hi Holly. You've always loved the moon. I'm glad to hear that. Let me just jump back to Facebook and see who is there. Yes, Richard just subscribed. Christian now has 346,847 subscribers. That's quite something. I'm completely stunned. Susan says the full moon is beautiful, isn't it? It is, right. Fitness Harlow, thank you for this, Christian. I live in Washington State, and no, not fitness. I said Finnis. Sorry, Finnis Harlow. I beg your pardon. I should read properly, right? So and I'm sure in Washington State you would be seeing something similar as I am here also on the Pacific West Coast. So it should be very beautiful. Yeah, and the moon is disappearing again. It is really amazing how quickly the Earth rotates, right? So I'm just going to switch over to the other camera so I can rush out again. I'll make this a little bit more interesting, right? That doesn't look really interesting. So let me see if I can make this a bit nicer. But let's see what the time is. It's 2:25. So I think we've got another, what, 24 minutes, if I calculate correctly, until we start seeing the partial eclipse, which is super exciting. Hi, I'm in your Holly is in East Texas. Well, that's nice. Don't think I'm not sure if you can see something in East Texas. I think you might just see a small part, but probably not enough, right? Probably enough. And oh, I see. Let me just see who else is there. Carolyn is in North Texas. Very nice. Well, welcome to my stream. I hope you're going to enjoy this. One second, I'm going to rush out again and adjust. I have to adjust the moon. One second. Yeah. As you can see, I can really zoom into the moon. We're going to have some fun later when the partial eclipse starts. So that's really going to be fun. Okay, let's see if we can do anything better. I'm sorry if my voice fades away sometimes because I'm jumping in and out of the car the whole time. What I wanted to give you is some different view. Can you see just, I wish I could, I might be able to adjust the settings a bit, but you can just see the reflection on Okanagan Lake. Can you just make it out, right? Just, if you brighten up your screen, you might just be able to see it, right? So that's the reflection on the lake, actually. It's so idyllic for a photographer. The camera is not quite picking it up, but I might be able to do an adjustment so that that looks a little bit, it just really shows you how beautiful it is. And you can see how clear it is. We may see something unusual. Well, I think a a total eclipse is definitely unusual. Valerie from Atlanta, hi, welcome. Michael Soden from Namibia, my goodness. Hey, from Namibia, I was in Windhoek for 1 year. That's where I did my German Abitur many years ago. So that's the final year. So very nice. Namibia has excellent weather for astronomy. One of the best conditions, in fact, from the stability point of view. So yeah, it's wonderful to have you here. Just let me know where you are in Namibia because I will probably understand that very well. I know you can't watch it at the moment. Susan says, "Does the moon go pink where you are?" Yes, it will. It will definitely do that. So let me just I'll explain to you why this is all happening the way it is. Okay. So as the moon is disappearing again, I'm just going to jump to the other camera and do some adjustment there. And I'm just going to try and get the ISO a little bit up if I can find the settings in the camera so quickly. But I'll spend a little bit of time doing that because I might get you might get this beautiful reflection now. So yes, we will definitely see the moon reddening. We will absolutely see that. Yes, that is as we get more and more close to the total eclipse, that'll happen, and I'll explain to you why that's happening. So the distance of the moon, light takes about 1.1 seconds at the moment from the moon's surface to us. That's the distance. We also at the moment, the moon is actually closer to Earth, and that is also why it appears larger. And the reason why we have a lunar eclipse is because the Earth sort of gets in between the sun and and the moon, and thereby it uh, basically blocks the path of light. Well, it never gets completely blocked, because the rays do go through the atmosphere, and there's refraction and diffraction and many other effects, which 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 means that the moon will never be completely dark, and that's exactly what we'll be seeing. I've got a very sensitive camera, so we will be able to see that in a while. Let's see, it's got about another 11 minutes, so I'm just going to rush out, just do some adjustments, and so I'll be silent for a few minutes because I want to see if I can get a better picture here with the one camera. I'm just going to jump over to the other one. You can just see that the moon is just getting out of the way. I'm going to put it back in and then just push the moon back in, and then we'll go on from there. 1 second. Okay, that's the one thing I'm just going to do some adjustment. Okay, I'm still doing some adjustments, and then I'll be right back. See, I need another light. 1 second. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's looking good. So we're just a few minutes away when we should be starting to see something quite magnificent. Jean says, already beautiful shot. Canada Sunshine Coast inside of Georgia Strait. Beautiful. 50th parallel. Wow. I just came in around at 2 a.m. The moon is behind scattered cloud, glimpsing through. Thanks for streaming. Oh, you're most welcome. And I hope that you'll be a bit more lucky. I know that in Vancouver, the weather is not great at the moment. So we're very fortunate to see that where I am, that doesn't seem to be the case. Other than it being a little bit cool at the moment, everything is wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to look at the comments on Facebook here. 1 second. Jody says, or is it? I'm not sure what that's referring to, but I probably missed some comments. That's so that's fine. I can hear crickets. Yes, you can. Hey, here are Jody. Here are nature lovers. Absolutely, isn't it marvelous? Well, you know how much I love wildlife and nature, and I'm so much for conservation of wildlife. Yes, you can hear crickets, so I'm glad the microphone's actually picking that up. Susan said it's raining very hard here. That is horrible. That is really horrible. Yeah, we are lucky that we don't have that. It's absolutely magnificent. 1 second, I'm just going to expand the comments again. Let's see where they are. That's all fine. Let me just expand them. Oh, whoops, 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, I don't want any feedback here. That shouldn't happen. That should not happen. 1 second. I just mute the microphone. That's better. Okay, that's better. Okay, now I will do another adjustment, and then we should be fine. Hello from Holland, Ohio. Love your channel. Thank you, Cindy. That is very kind. Merci, Christian from France. That is wonderful. Philippe, welcome to my channel. That's great. That's great. That's great. I'm seeing all your comments. That is really wonderful. I'm just going to jump quickly to YouTube. Okay, on YouTube I can see everyone too. I saw Holly's comment already. Yes, I've got all of these comments. Yes, I've seen them. Thanks, Mark, for jumping in, my friend, and thank you for helping me find this wonderful spot. Thanks for helping me make some really difficult decisions of how to find this. Now let's just see. It's 2:37. If I see the time correctly, very shortly we should be starting with this amazing view. So I'm just going to push the moon right back in. So give me a moment. I've got to push the moon back. It's always running away. You should still be able to hear the crickets, right? That sort of makes it really eerie, doesn't it? I just need a bit of howling wolves and well, maybe a few eagles here. That would be nice. Maybe later in the morning. It'll be all wonderful. Okay. Well, it's really, I can really see the atmospheric conditions are good here because the picture is really nice. So that's great to see. I have to figure out how to change the camera on here. I haven't been able to do that. Where do I do that? Ah, I can see where I do that. Hang on, I've got it. So let me just give you a quick look of here. Let me. Yes, it's working. That's me. That's me in the car. You can actually see even that worked. Maybe the picture is not that clear. If I put the light on in the car, yes, that may help. Okay, that may help. So you can see you can see me in the car right now. Um, yeah, I'm looking straight at the laptop, and there are lots of wires hanging out of the window. And I'm trying to do my best to make it an interesting show for you. I don't know how I'm succeeding, but let's hope it's not too bad. So I'm just going to switch the lights off because I don't want to later have problems when I leave that my battery is flat. So let me just jump right back here. Again, 1 second. There we go. Yeah, there's the moon again. There's the moon. Okay, so that worked. That actually worked. That is wonderful. So I'm going to push the moon right back again, and I'll switch to the other camera whilst I do that. So that's the far view so that you get everything. And I'll just push the moon back. Okay, let me jump back. There we go. So now we're all ready. Um, and very shortly we should be able to see the start of the partial eclipse, which will be quite magnificent. It should, yes, 3, 4. I'm just checking the time. Yes, yes. Jean Book says, let me see what it says. You usually do bird photos. So on my notification list, E17 and E18 left the nest area of Southwest Florida nest. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. That's that's great. Well, that's wonderful. I will one day, when COVID is over, I will start traveling again, and it'll be a lot better. So anyway, we're getting ready now for the big moment. Isn't it a beautiful lake? I think you could just see the Okanagan Lake. Um, I will adjust the camera a little bit again. I just have to be very active here because I'm doing everything manual. So just hang on. Gosh, the view of the moon is incredible as I look out of the window here, or when I stand outside. It's just incredibly beautiful. So 1 second. Okay, as you can see, the show is beginning. It's quite apparent. It's quite apparent, isn't it, that the that Well, I don't have to tell you where this is, where it is. I think you could see it for yourself, how the eclipse is just starting. Isn't it beautiful? So here comes the shadow of the Earth, and it's absolutely magnificent. And as it gets, as we go slowly more and more into totality, you'll see the moon will get quite dark, and then it'll get quite orange, right? So it's like at the moment it looks like somebody cut off something there on the lower left side, and it's going to go quite rapidly, and I'll have to change the sensitivity of the camera quite a lot in order to follow this. So it's remarkable. And the reason why it would get so red is because the light that is coming from the sun, which is exactly almost on the opposite side during full moon, of the moon, with relative position of the Earth. So it's the apparent position of the moon is about 176 to 180 degrees away from the sun. So it's about 12 hours difference, right? So the sun is illuminating the moon, and that is going, especially as the Earth blocks more and more light. The main light is going through the long paths of the atmosphere, right, and is refracted towards the moon, and that these long rays, in that case, red light is scattered much less than blue light, and that's why we get this very reddish light, right? It's the same thing as a sunrise or a sunset, exactly the same effect. I'm just gonna just jump it in again. Let me just um, yeah, you can see here, even on there, you can see just now how the totality has started. It's really beautiful, isn't it? So we jump back, and it's really wonderful. It's really wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to see quickly what YouTube is. Yes, you can still hear the crickets. Isn't that wonderful? Hi, Jody says, so glad I came across this. I should be sleeping now. Yes, you should. You should. One second. I'm just going to push the moon back in. As we get less and less moon, it's going to be easier and easier to do that. Okay, so whilst we do that, I'm going to take some pictures too. So just hang on, please. The screen's going to go on and off, but don't worry about it. I just want to take a few screenshots. Oops, that didn't work. One second. That didn't work. Let me just see why. What have I done wrong here? Uh, I will just put on my video. It's much easier. There we go. That's beautiful. Okay, that's quite marvelous, isn't it? Not centered. Yes, that's easy to say, Janet. It's not centered. You know how difficult this is to center it when I don't have what you call an equatorial mount, which basically compensates for the rotation of the Earth. So I'm doing this with incredible fine adjustments, right? In the dark, jumping in and out and trying to, I'm just going to close the door here so I stay a little bit warm. But that's why it's sometimes not so easy to do that. Okay. Yeah, it's looking quite incredible, isn't it? You can actually see how fast the Earth rotates, right? Through my adjustments. I should be able to make that out. I'm just going to jump and see if you can. Ah, yeah. Oh, here you can see it very nicely. You see that? You can really see the partial eclipse uh, coming in, or the first phase of the total eclipse coming in very nicely. I'm just going to try even and zoom that in a little bit more because it just gives another view. Okay. Okay, let's just try again. Get this back. Uh, there we go. That's better. Now I got it. Now I got it back. Now you can really see the difference between the two cameras, of course, as the eclipse moves on towards the totality. Yeah, it definitely has started. I mean, you can see how rapidly. That's really the Earth's shadow that is moving across the moon now. What's amazing about the moon is that it always shows the same side to us. So that is what we call tidal coupling. So the moon is always showing the same face towards the Earth. And I just have to make another adjustment because the Earth is moving so quickly, or rotating so quickly, that, as you can see, the moon is sinking away. One second, I'm gonna just do another adjustment. Let me just jump this back to the other camera. You're gonna enjoy that one. Just do that. Yeah, there you can definitely see it. Definitely see it. Very nice. One second. Okay, let's switch over. I've just zoomed into the moon. There, you can see the moon. You can definitely see the dark areas, the mare of the moon, and it looks like we're floating across the moon. We're just flying across, and that's of course the Earth's rotation that you're seeing here. And we're going to float right into the dark regions. But the contrast is quite beautiful, actually. The focus is very good. You definitely see of course, you always see some atmospheric shimmering, but it's actually quite nice. Yeah, now we're getting into the darker region. That is the part that is already suffering some partial eclipse at the moment. And I'll push the moon right back again. So 1 second. Okay. It's good, isn't it, Joel? It's looking quite nice. Oh, I got it a little bit out of focus. Sorry about that. I just have to refocus. It's always when I look on the screen, I can see a lot more. Just 1 second. Let me refocus it. There, that should be a bit better. The other camera, yeah. I'll give you the other camera. There you go. That's the other camera. So you can see that doesn't, I can't control the overexposure so good, but you can definitely see what it looks like. Thank you for the broadcast from Russia. Now, Russia is a huge country. Searcher K. So where are you from in Russia? I mean, you are covering the most time zones in the world, right? It's just insane. How so would be interesting to know where you're from. So you can definitely see how the how the eclipse is progressing now. Imagine what our Cherie says. Imagine what our ancient ancestors must have thought seeing an eclipse. Well, absolutely. It must have been very scary. But you know, once they were able to predict the eclipse, it was very different, right? They recognized the patterns. Quite interesting. From Moscow. Okay, yeah, that's okay. So that is, if you're from Moscow, you're still fairly close, fairly close to Europe. So that is definitely much more on the west side. Very good. I've been to Moscow. I have several times. So that's very nice. Very nice to have you here. Okay, let me just recenter the. It still seems a bit out of focus. One second. Kazakhstan. That is very nice. That's Nancy is from Kazakhstan. Is that right? That is incredible. That is beautiful. Very nice to have you all here. One second. I'm just going to uh, put the image right back. And thanks for all your donations. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it a lot. I'm going to use that to cover all my cell phone costs for the live stream. So one second. Okay, that's better. That is better. Yes, that is nice and back in focus now. Sorry about that. That was a few minutes out of focus. That's not very nice, but it should be better now. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? That looks a lot better. That's very nice. From Powell River. Hi, Jean. Hello, researcher. Oh, from Powell River. Okay, that's nice. Starting in San Diego. That is great. It's a beautiful, yeah, it's quite beautiful what we're seeing here, yeah. And I think the resolution is very nice. I mean, it's really looking absolutely stunning. So it's yeah, it really is beautiful. I just have to all the time adjust the camera because I'm really out in the field here. I'll give you the other view again. One second. A second view. There you go. So you can really see. Just jump back. There we go. Now it's better. Oh, you can really see how the Earth shadow is incredibly clear, right? And covering it, you know, sort of covering the moon. It's quite incredible. Okay, I'll better put it back again. One second. I'm going to jump over to the other camera and do that in peace. One second. Let me just do this. I don't know if you saw how I zoomed in and out with the with my video camera, but this is quite a beautiful view actually. It's quite incredible, isn't it? Look at the cloud there, and it's such a beautiful formation, isn't it? That's from close up again. I'm very pleased to see that there are so many also on Facebook right now. It's wonderful that you're watching this. And the clarity of the picture is quite phenomenal. It's really wonderful. Christian, the question should be, where haven't you been in the world? Okay, I've been to many places. I've just talked about Russia, of course. The furthest I've ever been in Russia to the east was Kazan, by the way. Kazan, Kazan has of course a lot of industry. It's very famous for it. So that was the furthest in Russia I've been. Oh gosh, I've been to so many countries, right? We just had someone from Namibia. I've been to Namibia. Of course, I lived in South Africa. Lived in Israel, South Korea. I was born in London. In Europe, I've been to many countries. I speak Swedish too. I've visited most countries in Europe. So I don't need to list them all. But then I came to Canada in 2007, and since then I'm here. And I started doing wildlife photography. Oh wow, it looks quite remarkable. Hang on, this looks absolutely remarkable now. Let me just switch the cameras here. Um, wow, this is looking so beautiful, isn't it? It's phenomenal. I'm so glad I can show this to you. I am so glad I can show this to you. That is phenomenal. I'm just going to push the moon back in. Goodness me, with a cloud at the moment, that looks so magnificent. One second. You can really appreciate this, right? One second. I got to do this now. Wow, that looks eerie. I'm going to switch over again to the other camera. And you can see, I mean, that's cloud cover coming in now. And you can just see a bit, such a weird mixture that we have at the moment. I'm just going to try and get that a little bit better. One second, because the clouds are darkening it. Plus you have the partial eclipse coming in. One second, I'm going to do that. Wow, that's quite something, isn't it? That is really beautiful. That is really beautiful. Now, of course, the clouds have disappeared again, but it's quite a view. I'll show you where the clouds are right now. So at the moment, it's all fine. But once the clouds come in, very beautiful. Thank you very much. I really get to see an eclipse. We usually have everything in the clouds. Yeah, that's interesting. So an eclipse, Thank you from the Midwest. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, all my friends. It's an absolute pleasure to do this live. I can see some red already. You know, that's interesting that you say that. Um, I'm going to that's good because I don't my screen is not that big, so you might be able to see that better than I can. I'm just going to switch over to the other camera again. I just need to adjust the ISO, the brightness a bit, because now it's absolutely overexposed. So one second. Okay, we've got that. That's looking quite beautiful, isn't it? Can you tell us what place you have be photographing the? Yes, I can. Absolutely. One second. My internet just says it's a little bit unstable. Okay, now it's back. Yes, I can. So the best one that I've ever done was 2 years ago in Vancouver, and then I've seen some in Sweden. A very nice eclipse in Sweden. Of course, the nicest solar eclipse I have seen. That was in Wyoming recently, and there's also another. Of course, there's another big solar eclipse coming up in 2023 in where is it? Yeah, in the Texas region, right? Dallas and so on. So there's so many beautiful phenomena to see in this world. The problem I have is during the day there's so much wildlife to see, and at night you have all the stars and the galaxies and these phenomena going on, so you can never sleep. Isn't that crazy? There's always something so beautiful on this earth going on that you just want to show, right? And the older I get, the more I want to show things to the world, how beautiful our planet is. So that is there you can see how the clouds have now, yeah, you can definitely see that the clouds have given a bit of way. That's very nice, really beautiful. So, Jean, I hope that answers your question. Hi, Susan. I saw red before when the clouds were passing by. Okay, that's good. And we'll definitely see more. I'm just going to adjust the camera again. So one second, just so you can see what I'm doing. So as you can see, I'm purposely not centering the moon because I'm trying to compensate a bit for the Earth's rotation because the moon's going to move from left to right. That's why. So let's just see. I'm going to take a quick look here at Facebook now. See how things are there. I went outside as well. Looks great in Arizona. Well, Anna, it must look incredible. Hi, Ivani, 45 cents. Thank you so much. Ivani in Brazil. That's incredible. So very nice to have you here. Gosh, it's not easy in the COVID times, especially in Brazil. So my heart goes out to you. But yes, Arizona has, of course, incredible weather. I would be. It's definitely getting more. The moon is getting. It looks at the moment like someone is switching off the light in, for the moon, doesn't it? It's just so amazing how that works. Yeah, and clouds have made it so beautiful, right? Clouds have they have such beauty, don't they? It's so true. Oh, you're very welcome, Ivani. I hope you're all fine. I really know how difficult these times are. I'm just going to quickly switch over 1 second and just say hi to you. Hopefully it works. Yes, it does. So you can just make me out, I think. Let me just switch the light on in the car. So this is my own studio in the car in the front seat. And I'm doing all the switchboard here and all the crazy things, and at the same time I'm keeping an eye out here out of the window, looking at the moon here straight up through the camera. I'm looking at the moon, looking at my two cameras, and running around like a headless chicken, trying to adjust everything at the same time. So now you know. Okay, I'm going to go jump back now. Yeah, there we are, and I'm going to just. You can see how the moon is setting now. Do you notice how it goes down more and more? So that really makes a difference. You're looking good. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Anna. Cool, isn't it, Ivani? That's I know. It really is cool. I'm so glad I can do this for you. No flight attendant. Yeah, that's right. Carol, I don't have any flight attendant. No, I don't. Uh, Oh gosh. Yeah. Let me just 1 second. I'm just going to run out again and do the usual adjustments that I have to do. And I will just, in the meantime, give you the other view here. You can see that view. And let's see if I can improve some things here. So just give me a few minutes. Okay. By the way, can you still hear the crickets? It's quite amazing, isn't it? Ah, this is so wonderful. So why I zoomed it out so you can just see the moon there, and if you look carefully, maybe you can brighten up your screens, and you'll see the reflection on Lake Okanagan. It's absolutely magnificent. I wish I could adjust this a bit better, but I think you get the idea. I'm just going to switch over again, and there you can see incredible how the eclipse is really progressing now, right? It's quite remarkable. Oh, thank you very much. Susan says, Dr. Zossi, you have shared so much and taken us through all your travels, and I'd love to do more. Janet just says she has relatives in my town, and I was asking if one was a teacher. We're reaching out across the states. That's wonderful. There's nothing nicer than showing both wildlife and astronomy and science to children, isn't it? It's just so remarkable, and I'm definitely going to do more of that in future. So it's definitely getting darker now. What a remarkable night this is. It's quite incredible. So it's the local time here is 3:20. What is it now? 3:22, I think it is. 3:22 at the moment. So I wonder how much, with with the view that I have here, we should be able to see Totality coming in too. So I really hope this will all work. I'm very optimistic at the moment because we have got such a good viewpoint. So wow, I'm so amazed. I wish I could. My eye sees a lot better than what the cameras are seeing. Um, but you can just make it out. You can just make out the reflection there, right? And you can see the crescent moon there. It's quite incredible, isn't it? Good morning, Anna. Nice to have you here. We have a wonderful morning here. Yes, you can actually just make out the reflection. And if you look, I'm just going to switch over again and just show you can actually make out the reflection. And if you look carefully and you zoom in on your screen, you can even see the lights of Kelowna in the background, right on the left lower side. You can see it. That's quite a remarkable picture, actually. I'll try and record some of this too. It's so remarkable. I'm just going to jump back again. You are blessed. I agree with you. Absolutely blessed. That is true. But I can tell you that blessing was quite a rush. Oh my goodness. It was a few hours of panic trying to find a place where the view would be good and everything would be right because the moon gets quite low quite soon. So there was a bit of panic too. Okay, let's just switch the moon over. Okay, and let me get it back in. 1 second. I don't know if you could hear that owl. It's quite eerie because you can see the first sort of signs of the morning coming in. It's quite incredible in the east, and at the same time we have the total eclipse going on. It's an incredible atmosphere, actually. I hope some of this is coming across. How beautiful this all is, and maybe you can lighten up the screen a little bit more and just see that just the city lights of Kelowna on the left-hand side, and the reflection of the partial eclipse on the water. You can hear the crickets as well, Anna. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, you can definitely see it. And now it's definitely getting darker. Hi, LJ. Welcome to the stream, and I hope you're enjoying. Hi, Zach. Good to see you here. That's wonderful. Even Zach is here. It's absolutely magnificent. For those of you who don't know where I am at the moment, so what has happened is I am near Kelowna, British Columbia. I'm on the east side of the lake, of Lake Okanagan, looking west, which has one of the best weather patterns in Canada. We had a terrible storm a few hours ago, and it cleared up. And as you can see, this is quite incredible now. We're blessed with quite a view. I see a little bit of the first, the first uh, light coming in already in the east. And at the same time, we can see the total eclipse happening here at a very rapid rate, which should, about half an hour, a little more than half an hour, we should be seeing totality, which is so interesting. So hopefully the moon will stay up high enough so that I can follow it. You know, as the sun rises, it's going to get more and more difficult to do this, of course. Crickets on the moon. Yes, that's right, Zach. Absolutely. I'm just going to push the moon back in 1 second. Now that's getting quite incredible, actually. It's really quite incredible because at the moment we have cloud cover coming in again. Hi from Ireland. Welcome, Megan. Very welcome. On the general plan, the lake is not very visible. May you temporarily increase the exposure? Yes, I will. But I have to increase the exposure now because temporarily a very dark cloud has come in, unfortunately. So even on my both cameras, you see absolute darkness. So yes, I shall temporarily increase the light. 1 second. Okay, now this is insanely high ISO. That's the highest I can go. And it's looking right through the clouds. It's completely black at the moment. Okay, it's absolutely black. Hopefully that will disappear very soon. So what you're seeing there, I'm running at ISO over 100,000 now. I'm looking right through the clouds. It's absolutely insane that we can actually see anything at all. Yeah, there we go. It's slowly coming in again. Isn't that crazy? Hello from Slovenia. That's very nice to have you here. I don't know. Yeah, now the moon's slowly. Gosh, the cloud is just such a pity at this moment that there's a thick cloud coming in. So I hope that that will disappear very soon. Raining again. Yeah, it's not raining here. It's just that there's a thick cloud that has just come in. I hope the clouds will go away soon. I do too. So I will just try. And it's just really, my camera's really struggling. I mean, I've got, can you believe it? I think that the ISO is somewhere around between 1 and 200,000. I've put it as high as I can. Can actually see through the clouds. So 1 second. There it disappears. There it disappears. That is not fair. Okay, well, we just have to wait. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but the cloud is actually thickened, unfortunately, and is not very kind. So I'm just going to switch over in the meantime because it's completely dark, and hopefully that'll disappear again. 1 second. The moon is half. That's great. So I'm just going to close the door of the car so it gets warmer here. So you can see. Um, yeah, I wish I could show you a little bit of my setup, but I don't dare touch the wires at the moment. We'll just have to wait a little bit. I'm looking out this way, so straight above the laptop, and as soon as it gets better, I will definitely let you know. But at the moment, we don't see it very well. So I'm glad you're seeing it half covered in Australia. They live on Locust Grove. Ah, I see. Okay. Um, anyway, I don't know if you could hear an owl outside. It was quite incredible. It was really wonderful to have nature here. So it's always so nice because if something doesn't work out, Janie says I live in Columbus, Nebraska. That is very nice, and I wish I could show you a little bit more at the moment, except for myself. But the reason is that it's completely covered. I can't believe it. That is so unfair. And there's some very dark clouds coming in. So we'll wait a little bit longer and just hope for the best. So let's just see if I jump back onto the camera now. 1 second. So let's see. Yeah, of course, there's complete darkness now. It's complete darkness. Even my most sensitive camera cannot make out anything, unfortunately. So let me go out again and let's try. So just bear with me and see what we can do. Not much. Yeah, that is not so good. That's not so good at the moment. That's all we have seen at the moment. Yeah, we can just wait. We just have to wait a bit. Yeah, I am showing you the clouds at the moment, which is not the most exciting thing to see, but I'm sorry. I just can't help it. At least you can enjoy the sounds. Well, I just hope we're going to be lucky because I see some thick black clouds coming in. Um, I also hope they'll go away. But at the moment, what's so difficult is because you have the total eclipse going on at the same time. It's very difficult to even see where the moon is. Right? I'm just seeing a little bit of silhouette here on the clouds, and obviously the moon is behind that. It's and on the other side, I can definitely see morning is coming. That's quite incredible. Wow, what a lovely morning! What a lovely morning! Still looks beautiful. Thank you for being so optimistic. I appreciate that. I am myself an eternal optimist. I see this beautiful reflection, and it really is sort of an orange reflection on the lake. But you know what? I might pick that up with my camera just to show you. My large camera, the camera will definitely pick it up. So let me just show you something else. If I can't show you the eclipse, I'm going to show you the reflection of the moon on the surface of the water. Let me try that. Okay, how does that look? Well, you can actually see it. You can actually see it. That's good. Let me brighten it up a bit. That's quite beautiful, isn't it? One second. Okay, so that is what you're seeing there instead, because I mean, that's something that is really unusual. So what you're actually seeing here is the reflection of moonlight, which is very weak, on the surface of the water of Lake Okanagan, um, which is quite remarkable, isn't it? It's beautiful. And it's getting darker and darker and darker. And it's getting sort of orangey. You see, now I really have to, let me see if I can adjust the camera again, because I can't show you the moon, but I can show you the reflection in the water, which is quite incredible. So one second, I'll try and brighten it up a bit, because I think we're going towards the total eclipse anyway. So, wow. Well, I'm glad to show this to you now. One second. There we go. I'm very happy that I can show this to you because this is quite unique. I'm just going to get the exposure down a bit, and then it should be a lot better. But the moon's just come back, and it looks absolutely exquisite, really exquisite. So let me just adjust the exposure. I'm going to be outside quite a bit now in order to show you how absolutely magnificent it is. Oh, you're very welcome, Marian Swenson. I'd love to bring this to you. Thank you for trying. It's very cloudy here in Ireland. Yes, Megan. But yeah, but it's actually, we're lucky. It's just the clouds have just disappeared again. So I'm just going to do a lot of adjustments now, because obviously the camera's overexposed now. But I'd like to show you some areas, just as the moon gets so sort of really beautiful reddish. Let's see what I can do to improve that. Sean says, I went outside, nothing visible. So, so you are all my vision for tonight. I feel very honored. Let me go on and do something better even. Let's just jump over to the other camera. There you can see how much the total eclipse has progressed. It's quite good, isn't it? Thank you very much. Thanks. So this is quite amazing, isn't it? So let me show you some more. Okay, so what I have to do now is that's the bright part of the moon, as you obviously can see, right? But now I'm going to show you the other part that is completely underexposed, right? So most cameras can only show this. I'm going to show you, I'm now going to completely do the opposite, and I'm going to overexpose it and show you the other thing, okay? I looked here, zero visibility. Oh, that's so unlucky, hey? That's unlucky, Jane. But I'm going to, let me show you the rest of the dark part of the moon now. So hang on. So the rest of the moon at the moment is obscured by clouds. So I cannot. You probably saw my attempt in really pushing the ISO up quite a lot, and it didn't get anywhere because the clouds are just covering the rest of the moon. So I'll have to content you at the moment with this until it gets better. It's still magnificent, isn't it? I mean, despite the clouds, right? Despite the clouds. Thank you, Pam, for donating some money. I really appreciate it. That's going to go to cover the cell phone costs here. So that is wonderful. Thank you, Pam H. I really appreciate it. That is wonderful. That is on YouTube. That is absolutely magnificent. Yeah, let's have a look now. It's still, oh, it's so mean, you know? It's so mean. The moon is just hiding behind. The moon is okay. I have to improvise again and show you something else because at the moment, uh, the moon is just hiding behind a dark cloud. Okay, well, but you know all about it, right? You've seen it in different parts of the world. I really hope. Thank you so much for all your kind remarks. I really appreciate it. But I wish I could do more than what I'm doing now. So let me get back and see if I can get anything beautiful at all. Yeah, I think you can see how difficult it is at the moment. And I have got it out of focus, unfortunately, because I'll try again because, gosh, we got so many clouds. It would be so beautiful because the sky is actually slowly getting blue. It's a magnificent picture. So let me concentrate a little bit more on really. I'd love to zoom in more, but I need to get the focus better. So hang on, just bear with me, and thanks for your patience. Yes, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. I think this is quite a good picture, actually. I'm happy. I finally did it with manual focus because yeah, although this is a Nikon D5 attached to an 800 millimeter lens, the focus system is simply caving in here, and I'm dealing with thrilling, isn't it, Jane? So it is actually very beautiful, right? It's actually really beautiful. Oh gosh, it's really incredible. So I'm glad that at the moment the clouds are not covering. So it's almost 4 a.m. local time here, and Totality should begin very soon. And I'm amazed that I can still show this to you despite the difficult conditions. Catching a focus at night is a difficult task. It absolutely is, isn't it? It absolutely is, Searcher. It is. I agree. It is. Usually it goes well, but I don't know. The camera has lots of difficulties in the orange light mixed with the other. It just doesn't know what to focus on. It's quite remarkable. But anyway, we're not here to complain. We're here to enjoy. So I'm just going to get out again and see what if I can give you a better view. So just hang on, please. Yeah, that's not bad. That is not bad. That is not bad. I mean, it's so dark anyway. Can't see the moon. It's daytime for me. Yeah, sometimes pulling back will bring in focus. I know. I'll try and focus it a little bit better. I certainly will. I'll just show you the other view. Um, Let me just switch over my camera. Yeah, you can barely see it in the other. You can just make out just a little bit of moon left. So I will, but I think the other view is much nicer. Yeah, but it's really beautiful. It's let me let me just let me just switch over again. So I will just zoom out a bit. It's gonna look a lot better because you can see how daylight is coming in. It's absolutely magnificent. So one second. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That is not bad. Ah, you're all very welcome. You're most welcome. Of course, the conditions are quite difficult at the moment, but I'll just show you in general what it's looking like on the other camera. You can see, you can definitely see how morning is breaking, right? And there's the moon, so you can just see the mountains there, right? So just as what I calculated is the moon, just as totality begins, the moon will start disappearing behind that mountain that is very much in the southwest. However, we'll just make out the beginning of the totality. So you can just see the white mark there from the moon, and you can see the silhouette of the mountain. It's actually quite beautiful because that's, of course, the sun, right? That's the first signs of the sun coming in. So, what a magnificent view here at Lake Okanagan. And there you go again. That is, you can see how blue the sky already is. It's quite remarkable. And here we have the total eclipse going on, and it's getting daylight. It's quite remarkable. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I've never seen this before. So I hope this is getting through to you too. How magnificent this is, especially with the blue in the background and then the orange of the moon. So let me just try and recenter the moon now. Oh, that is so beautiful, if I may say so. It is so beautiful. It is really remarkable, isn't it? I'm just looking here at Facebook. Let's just read your comments. Wonderful. Good morning from Half Moon Bay, California. Hi, Lisa. I hope you can. That was 6 minutes ago. I hope you can see it. Awesome video. Thank you, Mike. Wow. Hello from Chennai. Wow, that is wonderful. Southern India. Kalpana, that is wonderful. Welcome. So it's very nice that we can actually see something here. even though it's not easy to recognize sometimes. And sometimes also the video goes out a little bit. Um, Lisa says it's completely overcast, foggy here. Yeah, that's horrible. And you can't see it at all from Georgia. Sun's already up. Yes, it must be. It must be already up. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. So anyway, let's see if I'll get the moon right back. I'm just going to switch the camera so that you can appreciate. Look at the morning view. This is the early morning coming in, and you can just see the last glimpse of the moon there with the blue sky and the sunlight coming in, of course, from the back, right, illuminating the moon and being shadowed off by the earth. It's quite phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal how beautiful this is. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to try and get the moon back in. Let's switch back to the other camera. Okay, that's quite remarkable. I had to focus by hand again because the autofocus can't cope with this anymore. So it's maybe not perfect, but it's it's as good as it gets at the moment. I'll just switch over the other camera so you can see at the moment the moon is barely visible, right? And we're getting very close. The moon is setting very fast now, so we're getting close to totality. We are almost there. We're almost there. Isn't it incredible? Got to go now. Thanks for sharing. Pam, that's no problem, right? That is absolutely fine. So it's going to go on a few minutes longer until until the moon disappears. But I'm so glad that I'm still being able to show the moon, although it is incredibly low at the moment over the horizon, and we can still see it. It's not going to take very long and then the moon will be setting. So, and we can still show it. That's exactly what I wanted to do, and it's actually working. And there it is. You can see how nice, how red it is now from the long rays, the red rays that are not scattered as much as the blue rays that are coming through the atmosphere as they graze the Earth that is shadowing the moon at the moment. And on the other side, you can see how blue it is already. So morning is calling, isn't it wonderful? And if you listen carefully, you can hear the birds already. Can you? I don't know if you can actually hear the birds. I hope so. It's really beautiful. Anna, that is my pleasure. The birds are waking up. Isn't that so, Jody? They are. Isn't it wonderful? This is nature pure. I don't know if you could hear the owl hooting. I'm not sure if you could hear that. It's absolutely incredible. It's such a beautiful morning. So it's very special. As Mr. Zassa, why is coming back above and not from the lower side? Ah, that's a great question. So the way it you know that really has to do with the way the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun is aligned, because yeah, because of the Earth's rotation, because of the way um, the Moon is moving relative to the sun, it looks a little bit more complex, right? You would think it would disappear on one side and come back on the other, but you will see it, and you will see it anyway. We haven't got the total eclipse yet, right? We're just minutes away from it. We're just minutes away from it, and then you'll be able to see it. No, it's yeah, we haven't got the total eclipse yet. Yeah, right. It's coming in. Oh no, we do actually. Hang on. Let me just check. 1 second. I've been so busy that I've not looked. It is in already. This is the total. It is already in, and you can see how beautiful the morning already looks. You can't see the moon at the moment. Only when I zoom in can we actually see the moon, and you can barely see it. And it's coming in exactly from the same side again. You're absolutely right. Um, so yes, it is. Searcher, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. Isn't it a beautiful morning sight, right? Isn't it absolutely magnificent? I would have to explain. I don't have the video here to explain or do the animation why at the moment the moon is appearing where it is. It's funny. I cannot even see it with my eyes. I can only see it with the camera at the moment. So the camera is detecting something that my eyes can't even see anymore. If I'm looking at the horizon, I cannot see the moon. But you definitely can see it. 1 second, I'm just going to go back again. You can still see it. 1 second, let me just jump in and out again. It's absolutely remarkable. I'll get the moon right back. It's just phenomenal because it's so bright during the day. It's so bright. Oh, I can barely make out the moon with my eyes, but I'm going to center the camera again. There you can still see it. Now, of course, at the same time, you have light scattering from, you also have light scattering. So it's quite complex what's happening here, because it's not only the position of the moon, but the lower you get. So if you go lower down, um, about across the diameter of the moon, at the same time the atmospheric distortions increase and less light gets through. So you have a mixture of everything here. It's quite interesting, actually, and that's also why I believe that it is brighter at the moment at the top, because that part is showing less attenuation of light, and the red, whilst the lower part is being attenuated far more. Um, I'm actually quite amazed. I hope my explanation is correct, but that is my spontaneous explanation. Hi, Janine. Clear shot here from Nanaimo. That is great. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. I hope you can see what we are seeing here. Morning is really coming now at an incredible rate. And we can still see the moon, although and even though we have total eclipse now. I just have to check when the end of the total eclipse is. Let's see. It ends at 4:25. Okay. So in 5 minutes we have end of totality. And that's amazing that it was able to show you everything. Isn't that wonderful? That makes me really happy that I can still show this to you. Okay, that's quite beautiful, actually. That's quite beautiful. You can see definitely the upper part of the moon now. And I'll just switch the camera, and you can see how bright it already is. Look how bright the day is already. Isn't that incredible? And you can't see the moon, of course, at the moment because it's so incredibly dim. But that's how bright it is, and still we can see the moon. So I'll just get the moon back in. Yes, you can barely see it, right, Anna? Isn't that right? And the nature is magnificent. It is absolutely magnificent. One second, I'll try and get it back in. Well, if this is not idyllic, I don't know what is. That is absolutely magnificent. I'm just going to videotape this because it's just so amazing. I hope you're enjoying this. This is just amazing. This is an absolutely amazing, beautiful view here as we get the last glimpse here of the total lunar eclipse, and it's just magnificent. You can see it's just ending now, and the top part of the moon is getting brighter again. It's probably the best part here of the total eclipse. And there goes the moon. That's about the last part I can show you. Just as it disappears, I'm going to give you a quick view through the other camera, and you can see that's dawn. Sorry, that's that. Yeah, that's the morning here, as you can see. Isn't it beautiful? So you can see the weather, right? And we were just lucky enough. I'll switch back over, and here the last glimpse of the moon. Isn't it incredible? Just as it disappears, maybe one more minute. Just really marvelous. So beautiful. Here it goes. There it goes. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Why is it coming back above and not on the lower side? I can show you that in an animation. Why? It's easier to explain. There and that that was basically it. I'm just going to quickly go outside. I just want to show you my setup. So I'm going to go my with switch on my other camera quickly, and I'll say hello to you from out there. So just hang on, please. Right, okay. So, as you can see, that is the, I'm just talking in there, that is the camera, as you can see. That's a large camera looking at the lake. That's the car there. I've got all my equipment in there. And let's see if I, right. That's the final view. So you could see a little bit, I hope, my friends, that you could see a little bit how beautiful it is here. I'm just going to switch my camera and just sign off. And yes, it is. It is definitely. You can definitely see that morning has come. So we spent the whole night here. Thank you for joining me, everyone. So this was. I'm located here northeast of Kelowna, overlooking the Okanagan Lake, and we just saw the end of the total eclipse. It was absolutely magnificent, especially the last moments were incredible, weren't they? Absolutely incredible. I was so delighted to show this to you. I'm so glad. I've been up the whole night trying to prepare this, and it wasn't, I admit, it wasn't perfect, okay? But I have improvised as best I can, and I want to thank you for yeah, for your dedication towards us a photo to, to enjoy this beautiful eclipse with me and also get a glimpse of nature, listen to the crickets, the beautiful birds in the morning. I could hear an owl, and you really have the feeling that it's a wonderful new day that's starting. So, on that note, carpe diem, seize the day and make the best out of it. And I wish you all the best, my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you.